Thank you for joining us. Welcome to LumioseStation.
Hello LumioseStation, and welcome back to another episode of the Pokémon DataDex with me, TheOneIntegral. Now, after last week's vote, we have decided on a winner, and that winner is Slurpuff by quite a large majority. So obviously more of you want to see Slurpuff than Aromatisse. I'll probably cover Aromatisse later on in the series, we'll just have to see. Anyway, on to today's vote. Today's vote is between Dragolg and Clawitza. I say Dragolg, I don't know exactly how it's supposed to be pronounced. Dragolg? I don't even know, I don't even care. So, comment Dragolg or comment Clawitza for whichever Pokemon you want to see in the next DataDex episode. So guys, I guess we'll just get on with Slurpuff, shall we? So Slurpuff is a pure fairy type and is the meringue Pokemon, based off a meringue, which is a bit weird. Obviously it's pre-evolution Swirlix, it's based off of cotton candy or what's it called? Cotton candy or candy floss, that's the one. Slurpuff is number 685 in the National Pokédex and is also featured in the Central Kalos Pokédex as number 132. Slurpuff is 2 foot 7 inches tall or 0.8 meters tall and weighs 11 pounds or 5 kilograms. It's in the fairy egg group, which is, predictable because it's fairy type, and is, an equal split between male and female. A Swirlix will evolve into a Slurpuff when it's traded holding a whipped cream. Then, taking a look at Slurpuff's base stats, you can see here its base stats, they're kind of varied, they're average, you haven't got really high stats in one, like its health points obviously 82, defense 86, special defense 75, they're all pretty much 70, 80, sort of that range. There's no huge stat that has like 100 or so, and then one that's got like nothing. It's a very spread Pokemon, but despite this, Slurpuff can actually be really used quite well. First, looking at Slurpuff's typing, we can see being a pure fairy type, it resists fighting, bug and dark type moves, but is weak to poison and steel type moves, and is also immune to dragon type moves. So overall, obviously, it's neutral to everything else. Overall, it actually has a pretty good typing, as with most fairy type Pokemon, because poison and steel aren't very common types. They are, you see them every now and again, but they're not extremely common like fire or water. So, you don't see them quite as much. It's also got that important immunity to Dragon, meaning it can switch into someone who is choice bound into a Dragon type move, who's stuck in Outrage, all the stuff like that. Obviously, it also resists Fighting, Bug and Dark type moves, giving it some good switches in there too. Okay, now so moving on to look at Slurpuff's two abilities. The first ability, which is its sort of default one, is Sweet Veil, which prevents itself and ally Pokemon from falling asleep. Now, I was searching for whether this worked for the whole team sort of thing, like if you had a Slurpuff on your team, it would prevent all your team from falling asleep in, for example, a single battle. I couldn't find anything on it, like confirming or disconfirming that pretty much. So all I can assume is it only works in double and triple battles, like, none of your Pokemon can fall asleep when you got a Slurpuff out. That's all I can assume. I assume it doesn't work for the whole party. I couldn't, I don't have time to do tests. That would just take forever. Because I have Slurpuff at the moment. Anyway, you guys know what I mean. Prevents itself and its ally from falling asleep. It's an alright ability if you're going for doubles or whatever. But mainly looking at the hidden ability here, which is Unburden, which boosts the speed stat if its held item is used or lost. And Slurpuff is one of the very few Pokemon that can have this hidden ability, Unburden. It's quite a useful ability, can be used in many different ways, and obviously we're going to check that out on the Wi-Fi setups a bit later on. So, now looking at the highlighted moves, there are actually quite a lot here. Usually I just do 10, but there were I think 16 this time, so I had to split across 2 pages. So the first one is Aromatherapy at level 26, which heals all stats conditions throughout your whole party. So if you're looking for a support Pokemon, Aromatherapy could be good to put there, so you can get rid of Toxic, get rid of Burns, everything like that. Then level 31 learns Draining Kiss, which is obviously a fairy type move, works pretty much like Absorb or Mega Drain or Giga Drain, as it restores your health points, which can be good, especially if you're not running some form of health point restoration move or whatnot. Then at level 36 it can learn Energy Ball, which is obviously a grass type move, again special, so it's a nice powerful grass type move there. Then level 41 it can learn Cotton Guard. Now Cotton Guard actually increases defenses, which is a very helpful move, especially if you're looking to have a nice bulky Slurpuff, because then obviously get a couple of Cotton Guards up, get a health point restoration move with leftovers or something like that, and it can be very good. It doesn't raise special defense, which is the only downside to it, but it does raise physical defense by 3 stages. 3 stages. That's better than even Iron Defense. 3 stages. Wow, that's just unbelievable. So if you get 2 Cotton Guards up, damn, you got maximum defense pretty much, which really could be quite helpful. Then at level 45 it can learn Wish, which is obviously another method of restoring health points if you're not using Draining Kiss, and obviously Wish with a Protect setup can also be quite nice. Then level 49 it learns Play Rough, which is its physical fairy type move, and one of its only physical moves, which really sucks because of one of the setups we'll look at a bit later on. Then moving on to the TMs, at TM4 it learns, or can learn, with TM4 rather, not at TM4, it can learn Calm Mind, which is obviously going to increase its special attack and special defense. So if you run both Cotton Guard and Calm Mind, you've got a method of increasing both your defenses. And I think if we look at the base stats, we can see that Slurpuff's special defense is obviously lower than its normal defense. So you might want to think about getting some Calm Minds off before obviously you use your Cotton Guards. But really that depends on the opponent you're facing, really. Then with TM06 it can learn Toxic, which is obviously a badly poisons the opponent, which can be good if you're going for a sort of a stally, sort of defensive setup. Then TM24 it can learn Thunderbolt, obviously an electric type move, again special. TM27 it can learn Return, as most Pokemon can, another of its physical moves. Only one of two physical moves, or one or two decent physical moves at least. So really physically it is really quite it's restricted. Then at TM29 it can learn Psychic, again a nice powerful special move. Then TM35 can learn Flamethrower, again another powerful special move. TM90 can learn Substitute, as most Pokemon can, and obviously it's a good substitute if you're running Substitute, Leftovers, Draining Kiss, stuff like that. Then TM99 it can learn Dazzling Gleam, obviously another powerful fairy type move. Rather than obviously getting you health points back, I think it's slightly more powerful, I'm not sure, but it does affect all the Pokemon on the opposite side of the field, which can be good if you're looking to build a double set or a triple set. Then HMO3 can learn Surf, powerful water type move, again special, and this is its only special water type move I think. And then finally one egg move, it can learn Belly Drum, which obviously Belly Drum and Unburden. Think about it guys, this is the only Pokemon that can learn both Belly Drum and Unburden, which we're going to look at in just a few minutes actually, or maybe just in a second. Yes, we are indeed in a second. Anyway, let's move on to the Wi-Fi Battle Link setups. So the first one, obviously as I mentioned, is a Belly Drum Unburden set. So we have moveset being Belly Drum, Play Rough, Return, and Flamethrower. Then the ability is Unburden. Nature this time is Naughty, which is, the reason it's Naughty rather than some sort of like Jolly or Adamant is because of the fact that it can only learn 2 good physical moves, which is really not brilliant. So Naughty is going to boost your attack and lower your special defense. And you have to sacrifice one of your defenses here because the fact that you can't lower your special attack, because then you're just going to be stuck with just physical attacks, just 2 physical attacks, which is not going to be great at all. Held item here is a weakness policy or a citrus berry. I really do recommend the citrus berry. EVs are maximum in attack, 176 special defense, 76 special attack, and 4 in health points. Obviously the reason for the EV spread is because we're using both physical and special attacks here. So the moveset, basically you got Belly Drum, which is obviously going to cut your health points in half, or take away 50% of your health in return of maximizing your physical attack. Then we have Play Rough, obviously your powerful fairy type stab physical move. Return your other physical move, which you're gonna have to learn, you have to use. And then Flamethrower is just for coverage, because obviously it's a special attack, so it's not gonna get the Belly Drum boost, but it is gonna do some decent damage still. Obviously ability is Unburden, so once you use this item, it gets its speed stat doubled, which means its basic speed of about, 72 goes up to about 144, which is pretty fast. So, don't underestimate this thing. Then, held item. As I said, I recommend the citrus berry, which means, as soon as you get the Belly Drum off, the citrus berry is going to activate, it's going to restore some of your health points, and then the Unburden's going to activate, which is going to obviously make you faster. But you could also use weakness policy, because then, if you get hit by a super effective move, you obviously activate Unburden anyway, and then you might be faster, so you might not necessarily have to use Belly Drum in the first place. EVs, as I said, maximum attack, so once your attack is maximized, you're doing as much damage as you can. 176 special defense, because we're investing mostly in defense here, or special defense rather, because we're lowering the special defense with nature, so we really need to equal that out. 76 in special attack, just so it gives a Flamethrower a bit of a boost, and then the rest in health points just to give it slightly more bulk. You can, if you want to, switch out Flamethrower for another special move, for example Energy Ball or Surf or something like that, or Psychic, something like that. But Flamethrower is, it's the preferred choice, because you might meet some Steel types, which obviously Play Rough and Return aren't going to do much damage against at all. Other stuff like that as well. So really, as I said, This setup's about just getting in, getting your belly drum off. If you're using the citrus berry, getting the health points back up, and unburden activates, then you can just try and go through, play your off and return your way through the team. Obviously you're not going to be amazingly fast because Slurpuff isn't the fastest Pokemon to begin with, but you're still going to be pretty fast. So obviously, this is why I recommend the citrus berry, because obviously then you're going to have a higher, sort of more health points, whereas if you use the weakness policy, you're not going to have as much, especially if you use a belly drum. So you're not going to be able to survive as many attacks. But obviously weakness policy is going to increase your special attack as well as your physical attack, so it's two-edged sword here. If we look at the next moveset for Slurpuff, this is more of a stally, sort of sticking around for a bit longer setup, being more defensive, stuff like that. Your moveset is going to be Wish, which is obviously going to help increase your, restore your health points. We also have Draining Kiss, which is again going to restore your health points. Aromatherapy or Toxic here, because of the fact that, well, Aromatherapy if you want a support Pokemon, Toxic if you just want to stall the opponent out. And then the last one is a choice of Flamethrower or Psychic, or possibly just anything else. Psychic is obviously going to help against poison types, Flamethrower is going to help against steel types. Ability this time is Sweet Veil rather than Unburden. Main reason for that is that held item we're using is you're not gonna lose it, so there's no point having Unburden. You may as well have Sweet Veil just to prevent yourself being put to sleep. Nature is Bold or Calm. Held item, as I mentioned, is Leftovers, so obviously you're not going to lose the Leftovers at any point unless knockoff or something like that. EVs, you're going to have maximum health points, and then 216 in defense or special defense. If you're running Bold, you generally want to use defense. If you're running Calm, you want to use special defense. The reason for that being, so you got maximum bulk in that, or you can swap them over. If you're having a defense increasing nature, you could put the EVs in the other defense just to sort of boost them up a bit. And then you also have 36 EVs in special attack just to boost up your attacks a bit more. So basically this setup is about staying in. Obviously all the health point restoring tactics with Leftovers, Wish, Draining Kiss. As I said, we can have Aromatherapy. If you want to have a support Pokemon, you can bring in, use Aromatherapy to get rid of toxic damage on any of your Pokemon, any burns. Obviously, if you get a Dragonite that's burned, it's not going to be able to do much damage. So obviously, Aromatherapy could be helpful there. Or you could just use Toxic if you want to just sort of stall people out here, and then Flamethrower or Psychic is just a coverage move. So there's not much to use in this setup. Get in, just stick around, use your wishes at the right time. Don't wait till you're at really low health points to use a wish. Maybe use them when you're at half health points. Obviously depending on how much damage your opponent is doing. So just sort of work it like that, guys. Work it like that. Then the next setup here is a Calm Mind setup. So obviously moveset here is Calm Mind, as you might predict. And then we have Draining Kiss or Dazzling Gleam. Then we have Energy Ball, Surf or Thunderbolt, and finally Flamethrower or Psychic again. Ability this time is Unburden again, Nature being Modest or Timid, held item being a Weakness policy, and the EVs going to maximum health points, maximum special attack, and the rest in defense. So obviously Calm Mind is going to increase your special attack and special defense, making you nice and specially bulky, as well as being a hard-hitting special attacker. Then we have Draining Kiss or Dazzling Gleam. Draining Kiss if you want the health point restoration, Dazzling Gleam if you just want the power really. And then we have a choice of Energy Ball, Surf or Thunderbolt, and it's really just coverage wise. And then obviously Flamethrower or Psychic at the end, again it's just coverage. Ability obviously Unburden just to increase your speed once you lose your weakness policy. So really you're hoping on your opponent to use a steel or a poison type move just so you can get that weakness policy activating, get your speed up, and obviously you're going to have your special attack boost there too, which is obviously going to help, especially if you've already got a Calm Mind or two off. Nature, Modest or Timid really depends on sort of whether you want to be really, really fast after you've got the Unburden up, or whether you want to just be really hard hitting once you've got the Calm Minds and the weakness policy activated. I would recommend, if you're running Modest, definitely have Draining Kiss there, because obviously Draining Kiss is still going to do a lot of the damage with the Modest nature, whereas you might want some health point restoration, whereas the Timid one, obviously you're going to be going first a lot more, sort of, so Dazzling Gleam might be a better choice there. EVs, maximum health points, so you're more bulky, maximum special attack so you can do as much damage as you can, and the rest in defense just so you get the defense is up pretty much. Then on the penultimate setup for Slurpuff here, we can see we have it's a sort of a sub Calm Mind setup. So we have Calm Mind, Substitute, Draining Kiss or Dazzling Gleam, and then Surf, Thunderbolt or Flamethrower. Then ability is Unburden, Nature is Calm, held item is a Petier Berry, and the EVs are maximum health points, maximum defense or special defense, and the rest in special defense or defense. Okay, so first looking at the moveset, obviously we have Calm Mind, then we have Substitute, Draining Kiss or Dazzling Gleam again, just the choice of the Fairy Stab, then we have Surf, Thunderbolt or Flamethrower, basically just a coverage move there. Ability this time is Unburden because we are using a held item that's going to get lost, which is a Pettier Berry. What does a Pettier Berry do, you ask? Well, when the health points drops below a quarter, it raises your special attack, which is obviously pretty good, because then obviously if you get a Draining Kiss off, or just any other attack, you can do some more damage than you would have. Which especially works if you're, for example, set up a sub and then your health points goes below a quarter, you're going to get the boost then. And especially if you set up a Calm Mind or two before then, you're going to get a nice, nice attacking boost there. Nature here is Calm, because that is going to boost up your... Let me just, I have to check, I always forget, it's going to boost your special defense and lower your attack. Obviously, because we're not using attack, we're using special attack. So obviously it's going to get, going to be more bulky here, especially with a Calm Mind or two. And then maximum health points. And then you can choose whether you want maximum defense or maximum special defense. If you want to be really, really, really bulky, especially at least, you need to go for the special defense. And if you want to be sort of a mixed bulk, you can go for the maximum defense and then just put the rest in special defense as well. So basically the setup's just about maybe setting up a Calm Mind or two. Then when you get low enough to set up a sub, sort of, you can go for the sub and then get the Pettier Berry activated and then just sort of wreck through lives behind your substitute. And that works fairly well, especially with the speed boost. Then finally is the last setup for today, and this is basically a full out bulk everything setup. This is Calm Mind, Cotton Guard, Draining Kiss, Aromatherapy, Substitute, or a coverage move. That's just any other, special attacking move. Ability here is Unburden yet again, Nature being Calm, held item being a weakness policy, and EVs going maximum health points, maximum defense or special defense, and the rest in special defense or defense. Again, this is very sort of similar to the last one, except this one has the addition of Cotton Guard, which is obviously going to raise your defense by 3 stages each time you use it. So, obviously Calm Nature, which is going to boost up your special defense rather than your normal defense, but it doesn't really matter, especially since you've got the Cotton Guard to raise your defense by 3 times or 6 times if you want it. So this setup is about just getting in, go for a Calm Mind or a Cotton Guard depending on what foe you're facing first off, then getting hit by a super effective move which is going to activate your weakness policy, then if you're carrying the substitute, go for that and sort of just go and sweep through. If you're not, and you're carrying Aromatherapy or another coverage move, that's completely fine. You can just go be faster than the opponent, hopefully, and then just wreck through with Draining Kiss or Surf or Thunderbolt or whatever else you're using. Draining Kiss is obviously going to help you get some health points back too, which could be quite helpful in the long run, and stuff like that. That's really all this set's about, being bulky, then getting the weakness policy off, and wrecking souls. So guys, that's it for this episode of Pokemon DataDex. I hope you enjoyed it. Remember to vote for your choice of Jagolg or Claw-Itza in the comment section below. I'll take a look at them in a few years' time and see which one is a higher votage, I guess, and then I'll, obviously make next week's episode on whatever one won the vote. So guys, be sure to go and do that. I'll be seeing you next time, guys. Thanks for watching. Goodbye, my friends.